Robert Heffernan, Endotech, exclusively for the Pareto Network, Pareto token holders, and Endotech subscribers. I'm a master endotechnician. Now, firmly in the matrix trading cryptocurrencies. I spent a bunch of years trading on the floor of the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. And some of that experience giving me some guidance here today. And today's action, and I can't wait to start talking about today's action in the vitals section. In order to partake in that vital section, if you're watching here on YouTube, you need to be an Endotech subscriber or a Pareto Network token holder in order to view that content. And you can become a subscriber by visiting endotech.io. Please do it. But let's do the rounds, because some firm words here today. Firm words out of Mr. Arthur Hayes, BitMEX CEO. And he has got some firm words about his thoughts, especially on Ethereum. And basically he said a lot of the things that I've been saying for several weeks now, and that is that so many of these tokens raised funds from venture capitalists in Ethereum, and as Ethereum plummets, they have fiat costs, and they need to dump their Ethereum to pay those fiat costs. And he's speaking of the herd mentality of this thing is going to play out much lower to much lower levels. At a certain point, he says, they all just say, he uses the F word. I think I've used that once or twice in the pit. Well, maybe daily in the pit. But at a certain point, they say, fuck it, and they dump everything because they need, first of all, they're trying to develop a business. They're not traders, all right? They're not trying to trade the money. But in VC, the thing that the tokenization has done for it, which is good and bad, a VC usually had an exit. They put in X amount of money. And they have an exit plan for 5 years from now, right? And there's no price discovery about what that VC investment is worth. But in a tokenized world, as soon as that thing is listed on an exchange, the very fact that you tokenized it gives it a bid and an offer. So somebody else can come in and take part of the action. And if things are going well, that's fine. But if things are not, and people that got in, it wasn't just one person, but a public funded thing, everybody starts running for the hills when they see the price activity, even if it has nothing to do with the long-term success of a particular token. So there is definitely a double-edged sword here on this type of fundraising, and maybe its long-term potential to accurately facilitate and create the green pastures needed for things to develop. I mean, you think about I guess it's the same as in the fiat world. I mean, Amazon did go to next to nothing before it rebounded to owning the world. But there is definitely that added dimension here where you can hedge or you can dump your tokens if you don't think that the people are up to the snuff. But it puts a lot more pressure on them then, because the traditional VC model, you had lots of time and there was no pricing mechanism that dictated how well or how terrible you were doing, like there is in a tokenized environment. Everything's got a bid and offer. And he's, the other thing that he said that I kind of agree with is he doesn't know when the tipping point will be, but in hindsight, it will be obvious when the capitulation occurs. There are those who believe that a sustainable token economy can exist, but they won't be buying at these levels. Sub $100 takes us back to spring 2017. At those depressed prices, the carry-on is ripe for ingestion, meaning, and I kind of said this too, just looking at markets for 30 plus years, you can see the capitulation, all right? You can see it. It's a giant candle that has, usually a doji type candle, has a much lower low. We call it a blow-off low or a blow-off high. And we have not seen that. We have not seen where everybody's looking at each other, everyone is looking at each other saying, what the fuck is going on? And, when there's true panic. And I've seen it in 1987, the stock market crash. I've seen it several times in the Mexican peso with devaluations. I've seen it in the hog and cattle market with limit moves one way or the other. And it's a completely different feel. Other than that, you're getting to a market bottom or top when trading becomes, especially day trading, becomes next to impossible, where the market just keeps flying percentages one way and then back the other way and one way and back the other. And we kind of got that activity going on right now. But I still have not seen, just like Mr. Hayes says, that capitulation that in hindsight is crystal clear. Anyway, let's take the vitals because I want to talk about the price action today and my thoughts going forward. So let's do that. But in order to do that, I got to say goodbye to YouTube. So goodbye, YouTube crowd, and we will